What's good? What's good, everybody? How y'all feeling on this fine Sunday? I'm just taking a little time for more people to come in. Hello, High Bridge Culture. How you doing? I hope you're having a beautiful weekend thus far. Hello, Julia. You know what? I'm doing really, really well. I cannot complain one bit. I'm having a really, really good day so far. Amia, ooh, you visit the river. That is gorgeous. Nice. You gonna go to the concert later on today? That's pretty cool. I love concerts. The last concert I've been to probably a year and a half ago. Tomorrow. Nice, nice. Please be sure to enjoy yourself. Please do. Take lots of pictures, vibe, and just have a good old fantastic time. Indeed, indeed. Just vibing for a little bit. Let a few more people come in and then speak a little bit, speak my piece. And if somebody want to come on to the live with me and we have some dialogue, because I just want to advocate for rest. I know you guys have been hearing that mantra from me for the past few weeks, but I just really feel like it's imperative and I'm really stressing on this point. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be the topic again. Okay. All right. We can definitely get into that. Yep, we can get into that for sure. We can talk about it, have some dialogue and, get feedback, from the fam and see just vibe. I'm gonna pull you on, okay? So you better be ready. Go ahead, put your shirt on, do whatever you gotta do. I'm about to pull you on, High Bridge. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna press add and then bring you on, and then that's how that's gonna work. Yeah, I'm gonna do that momentarily. So I'm gonna give you some time to get ready. If you wasn't ready for that before, now it's gonna be the time for you to get ready. Okay? No worries. Yeah. So you ready? All right. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see how we gonna do this. Type you in. Okay. Shay, how you doing? So not often as I would like. I try my best to do weekly. Um, and you know what? Now that you're saying that, I'm gonna hold myself to more of a consistency of weekly to go live. Um, so it's saying waiting for hybrid culture. You on? You got it? There you go. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
doing good.
Good. That's good. So first I just want to tell everybody, hey, how y'all doing? I hope y'all having a phenomenal, phenomenal weekend thus far. If you guys do celebrate the 4th of July, which was yesterday, I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th. And if you don't celebrate it, I really hope that Saturday brought you abundance of joy, prosperity, and all the love and tranquility that there is. So, with that being said, hybrid, how are you doing today?
Highbridge is doing good.
That's good. That's good. So what was the question that you had that you want to talk about? Is it in regards to peace? Is it synonymous with peace or something totally different?
dating.
Dating. Okay. So what about that? Tell me, what's on your mind?
Hopefully, this answer, your answer, will give me
Okay.
peace, will bring me peace. So that's always there's always a bonus effect on that.
All right. And we on to something. Okay. All right. So talk to me. In the retrospect of dating and peace, how do you feel like that'll be synonymous for you to bring you joy?
Mm, I'm Hybrid is trying to figure out how to navigate dating as a femme straight male.
Okay. All righty.
Or like better yet, maybe let's word this better. Hybrid displays feminine attributes and he is not homosexual.
Okay. All right. So you're expressing how you are as a person and you
Hmm.
want somebody to compliment who you are and what you embody. So with that being said, what are you looking for in a person in order for them to be in balance with you to ultimately bring you peace? So initially,
Compassion.
what are the personality traits that you that you feel comfortable with dealing with or be attracted to in order for you to know like this is the one?
Compassion.
Okay.
Respectful boundaries set apart. The deep thinking. What's the word? Not interpersonal, but
Introspective.
introspective. Thank you. My brain fog.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. All right.
Being very introspective, understanding social fabrications is a big thing about like what I would want in a woman. Social fabs, I think the vein of society right now. A lot of social fabs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. Okay. So with you wanting those things, or those are the things or the qualities that you're looking for in a person, do you embody those same traits? Or are you looking for someone who has those traits within, who can help you better exude those traits that you are looking for within a person?
So one of the things is Highbridge exudes has the introspectiveness to know what are social fabs. So that's like a companion thing, right? Just wants to
Mm-hmm.
have someone who knows what social fabs is and also doesn't like a lot of those, doesn't adhere to a lot of the social fabrications.
Got you.
But the other things is I'm more the type of person who wants complementary, not the same. Complementary, not the same.
Mm, understood. Okay. Okay. Because you just don't want the relationship to really be linear, right? You want it
Exactly.
to have some type of essence to it so that you guys can always piggyback off of one another, learn from each other, grow in different areas that you weren't aware of that you needed growth in,
Yes, sir.
or balance each other out. Okay, I totally get that. So, what are the arenas and the turfs that you navigate in order for you to find your potential partner or somebody that you would want to date?
I go to a lot of are you asking me? Let me repeat just to make sure I clarity. Are you asking
Mm-hmm.
me what type of locations, areas, hangout spots, Highbridge visits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, Libraries, um,
Okay. Get me
um,
there. Mm-hmm.
dance studios,
Mm-hmm.
like salsa, tango, tea houses. Love tea houses,
Nice.
but
Okay.
some bars.
Okay. All right. So they have to be social. So you want somebody to be
Yes,
social. You want somebody
yes.
to be true to who they are and somebody to complement what you already embody.
Mhm.
So is it that you've had unsuccessful attempts before? Or are you just now not getting back on the scene and you just trying to filter your way through who's out there?
Osiris took a journey for 8 years. So he was gone, Buddhist temples, communes, stuff like that, right?
Mm.
He just got back to the United States. The problem, and do you mind if I share the problem first?
If you're open to share
Mhm.
and you have that level of transparency, display away.
Okay. I'm going to try to make sure I'm going to word this correctly. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Highbridge's problem is the fact that Hybrid showcases non non hetero traits. He does not showcase not yeah. As you can see, I'm very I Osiris is well enough to know he looks like a freaking princess, total queen status, which is fine. He says
Mhm,
darling, sweetie, he says honey. These are
mhm,
just some of my, verbal tics, verbal, language, right?
mhm,
The problem is that women take me as a gay guy and I don't want to manipulate. Like a hybrid doesn't like to manipulate women. This is not a coy. This is not just like to get women, right? This is just who I am. This is how Osiris expresses himself,
mhm,
right? He doesn't really put social fabs on dancing. Like he doesn't think just because you dance with a guy or a woman, you have to be gay or you have to be bi. I dance
mhm,
because I just like to dance, whether you're man or woman. If you want to dance, I'm gonna dance with you.
mhm,
Um, the way I speak, the way a hybrid comes off, it comes off as I'm your gay best friend or slash girly guy best friend. Like you wanna tell me all of your feelings, which is fine. I'm totally down to listen, totally down to
mhm,
understand. But I don't need you to look at me like I'm not a straight male. Does that
mhm.
make sense? Like I
It
don't
does.
need you. I don't need you to be vulnerable plus get naked in front of me because you feel so comfortable with me because you consider me not a straight male. Does that make sense?
I do. I do. So on the forefront, you're being very open with the individual. You letting them know how you are. They already see like the embodiment that you exude, and you just want somebody to appreciate you and accept you for who you are, as well as you do the same for them. Am I gathering that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with that being said, I want to first ask you: do you accept you as who you are?
Totally. It took a long time. It did,
Okay.
but that was with the journey. Yes, completely 100% accept who I am. It's just sometimes it's frustrating. It's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating because to showcase that I am a straight male, that Highbridge is a straight male, do not,
Mm-hmm.
what my actions, my supposed idiosyncratic behavior displays, don't confuse that with me with the fact that like Highbridge is straight. He wants to be with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Don't confuse that.
So, what I think, and this is just, a realm of thought, is that when you do lock in with an individual, you show them that genuine love and compassion that you embody. With that genuine love and compassion, and that complements how you are as a person, then they would know that this is coming from a true, genuine place from the heart. Once they have the capabilities of accepting who you are, what you display, and how you treat them, and it's reciprocated, then that's when you can move on to be with that person and then y'all can flourish into something beautiful. So, off the jump, it's more so about alignment. So, just make sure that you are in alignment with somebody who's going to love you and appreciate you and treat you as how you want to be treated. In conjunction with that, allow yourself to set the boundaries when you feel like something is not right. Don't allow yourself to accept something that you don't feel good with or you uncomfortable with
Hmm.
just to keep the peace and continue the relationship, because that's not going to be healthy in the long run. Because if you accept that one time, then you're going to continue to accept that, and then they're going to continue to feel like it's okay, and then you're going to start to eventually build a resentment, and you don't want to do that. So you just nip that framework in the bud from the get go before things get into a turf where it'd be much harder for separation because of what you allowed, you know? So that's my biggest, feedback for that. Just always make sure that you're in alignment with the person and that they're in alignment with you and they can accept you for who you are 100% without saying, all right, I'll take 80% of you today, but that 20% of you, I don't want to allow. Don't allow for that to happen. If they can't take you 100%, then you know what? I appreciate you and I appreciate the time that we shared, but I wish you all the best type deal. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
did, oh, can I ask? some advice real quick before we go.
Sure.
Average was in a, a situation last night, and of course, I handled it very well. I'm very proud of myself. It's just that now I feel like it's awkward because last night was at a young woman. She was showing vulnerable. That does not mean she's not strength. Very, very powerful woman, but she was showing vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Hybrid did express to her, he did express to her that, hey, I don't want to see you, do not treat me such as a gay best friend. Hybrid isn't gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her even a story, legitimately told her a story about how some women have treated me in the past, not like they were been vicious or not, just treated me as their gay best friend, and they would be vulnerable. Then they would um they would they would presume to get very vulnerable, like taking things off in front of me after Hybrid would specifically say, "I'm straight" many times. Do not do that. It
Mm-hmm.
happened again, and I just don't know how to express this to her about like how she was, drinking and being safe and vulnerable, and that's fine. It's just it felt uncomfortable because now I'm in a situation where she's hugging me, she's talking to me like I'm a girly and a gay best friend or something like that, and it was just very distressing because if I tried anything, it would have been my fault. But even though
Mm-hmm.
she was kissing me and showing affection towards me, it was more like, what does in this situation as a straight male, is this the green light? And I was like, not really. But it was just so distressing. It was so stressful. In that situation, do you think hybrid needed to leave?
So, all right, one thing. She was heavily inebriated and she was vulnerable. So, first she wasn't in her right mind, and then she started to display some things that you weren't comfortable with. But you handled it really well because you did not advance yourself toward her. And although she was in that state of mind, you still was there to support her through, what she was feeling, what she was experiencing, and what she was doing. So I do commend you for that. So once she sobered up, or whenever, or like in the future tense, like today or tomorrow, you talk to her, have that dialogue with her now that she's in her right mind and she's not in an inebriated state. Like, hey, we went out the other night because, okay, before I even get into that, if it's somebody that you really care about and somebody that you trust and they trust you, open communication should always be on the forefront of anything. No matter if it's an uncomfortable situation or something that you may feel like you want to avoid talking about, if you really do appreciate that person and you value their friendship, then open communication should not be an issue no matter what the topic of conversation is. So, now that she's in the right state of mind, whenever you get a chance, but better sooner than later, you let her know, like, hey, what happened the other night. I understand you was drinking, we was having a good time, and we was partying. So this is twofold. I want to make sure that you are okay, and I'm always going to support you and make sure that you're safe. But on the second hand, I don't want you to look at me as if a best friend or something of that nature. Is it somebody that you're interested in? Let me make sure I get that right.
We were. She kept expressing we're just friends. Nothing's gonna happen. She kept expressing that. Now, me, Hybrid doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, so I'm already in a situation where I'm completely sober, and we're at her house. And
Hmm.
Osiris noticed that she was like, he stayed because she was bumping into things.
Hmm.
Again, Osiris doesn't really drink, so he doesn't know how would like he just knows that Hybrid felt like she might have been in putting danger to herself by kept
Uh-huh.
moving around, getting more drinks. So he had to like put her down. He had to massage her feet. He had to like make sure that she would stay down. But
Hmm.
while doing those things, she was crying. And again, and I'm just like I'm here for you. But at the same time, this felt like the dynamic of this. You wouldn't do this to a straight guy. You wouldn't do like it just felt
Mm-hmm.
you would not behave like this to a straight guy. This just felt straight. This just felt like I'm your girly slash gay best friend type of vibe.
Hmm. I can understand where you're coming from, but I also don't want you to invoke more. ideologies about what's actually happening, because from a mental standpoint of view, that's going to do nothing but stress you out even more. So although it may have felt that way, I don't want you to assume that, because that's just more mental tension for what you're already dealing with. So let's just take what we're experiencing right now without you invoking that ideology, because it's an assumption until when you have the conversation with her, right? So now you approaching the realm of thought of having the conversation with her. Like, hey, all right, I want to make sure you were safe. I'm gonna always be there for you and always support you. And you know, I got you. But on the second hand, you already know how I am, and you already know, what I'm about. So also please respect that as well, you know, because I don't want to sit up here and have these mixed emotions or these mixed ideas about you, myself, or whatever we're endeavoring in at the time. And I just want to make sure that we're in a good headspace at all times, whether we're inebriated or not, but just be hyper focused on that. Like if something were to occur, or if you felt like you wanted to advance yourself towards me, I'm not going to allow that to happen, because I'm safeguarding me and also I'm safeguarding you. So have that open conversation, see what her feedback is. If it's something where she's like, all right, I agree with you, you know what I'm saying? I apologize. I'm not going to, behave in that manner no more. Okay, cool. You can also set a boundary as well. Like, all right, if we hanging out, you're gonna have to relax on that drinking, or it's gonna have to be to a certain threshold, and then you have to be done, because you don't want to entertain someone who is having this out of body experience and don't know what's going on, and then you're going to have to be sitting up there trying to mitigate, all of that emotional dysfunction at that time, because that's not okay for you to be in that type of situation as well. So y'all have that
But
open communication. If you really value the relationship, see how she responds, and then you move accordingly. That's my suggestion. Yeah.
thank you so much.
No worries at all. No worries at all. I really do appreciate um, you asking me those questions. And I do hope that one day you do find somebody who's in alignment with you to ultimately bring you peace.
Thank you so much. Peace is everything these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And please don't let nobody compromise that for no shape, way, form, or function. All right.
Totally. Yes, ma'am.
All righty. You take care of yourself. Okay.
See you later, my melanated queen.
All right. See you later. Yes. So for those who just came in, oh, let me hold on first. Let me see. Let me see. So I'm getting ready to look at this comment right here. Poetic Cinema Studio said, I write about the war drugs, including the effects that have on the brain. Alcohol is truly not the problem. Is the element of sugar that it contains inside what it do to our brains and our process of thinking, especially people of color that are gifted. It creates chaos and external world internally. You're trying to make sense of it. Do your research on what you're drinking. Sugar truly is the devil. It's not the alcohol to say, but we wouldn't drink alcohol if you didn't have the taste that it provides for our brain to become addicted. I agree with that on a plethora of levels, because I've heard before sugar can be worse than cocaine because of the addictive factor and what it can do to your brain, your body, and all your internal functions as a person. Too much of anything is not good, but especially sugar can destroy you internally. So I really do appreciate um, that standpoint of view for sure. So ultimately, everybody who's just coming in, who's been here since we've been having our dialogue, it's all about peace. I'm all about getting your rest. And I know I've been preaching this mantra for the past few lives, but it's like I keep finding more information about why rest is so important, because it's almost as if I do like a case study in what people talk about the most often. And they most talk about being exhausted, being overwhelmed, being overworked. And it's a lot of people who cater a good portion of their lives and trying to figure out what this issue is and what's going on and why is it like that. And a part of it is not just because a person is overworked, but it's more so about what a person is allowing. So if you're allowing yourself to be into the frame of mind of not saying no, not setting boundaries, always being the person that people can reach out to as, this outlet, or something that they can dispose their problems upon, and you're always the one who allow themselves to be the recipient, then you're always going to be that person who's drained because you're not taking that time in order to say, all right, is this meant for me right now? Can I tolerate what this person have going on? Am I going to be able to handle this energy, although I may be going through whatever I'm going through? Is this in alignment with me right now? And I really feel like a lot of individuals don't take that time to pause and really understand that fact before they go into the job role of trying to fix somebody else or listen to their problems or be inundated with this energy that don't belong to them. So it's about the pause. It's about the rest. It's about the reset. It's about taking even that little small space and time before you want to knee jerk and say, yes, sure, I'll do it. No problem. Come on. What you want to do? And that's fine and dandy. And everybody may look at you like you the superhero. But guess what? Superheroes get burnt out too, you know? And superheroes need other superheroes in order for them to be able to build this community of letting them know, like, hey, you can't be going on this train forever. This is not a lifestyle. This is more so a choice. And your choices is going to start to build up and allow you to see what you are allowing and what you're refraining yourself from. Because if you have this high output for everybody else and you have this low input for you, then that's an energetic imbalance. That's poor energetic hygiene. And that's going to lead to resentment. So instead of you resenting yourself, resenting the people, or resenting the situation that you may be involving yourself in at the time, take the time to evaluate what your decision is and how it's going to impact you, instead of you just haphazardly just answering everybody and telling them, hey, yeah, sure, no problem, we can do it. We can go here, we can move here, we can shake here. No, I'm not available today. I probably can catch you next week. Sure, no problem. But today is just not the day. So I wish you all the best, though. If I know a better person who can suit you for this endeavor, I will definitely send them your way. But I just won't be a candidate for that position. Sometimes you just have to do that. It's okay, don't feel bad about the decision that you're making either. So once you have set that boundary, stand firm on it. Don't allow that boundary to be negotiated, because you keep negotiating your boundaries, then you telling yourself that, all right, I may be setting this implementation, but it really don't mean nothing because it's just words and you're not actively living it out. So you are rewiring your brain to let your brain know, like, okay, she compromises. So I can't really listen to much that she's saying or what's going on or whatsoever may be the case. You have to build that loyalty up for you in order for you to trust yourself to know that you're making the correct judgment. So if your body is talking to you and telling you, like, baby, we can't handle this, we done had a long day, listen to it. Don't override that internal system that you have. Allow it to speak to you to where you listen and you build that mind and body coherence to build a healthier, more frame of mind, atmosphere, and equilibrium for yourself. I really feel like that is the main problem with a lot of individuals, because so many people are so high functioning. They want to get stuff done. They overachievers and things of that nature. And that is fantastic. That's wonderful. I appreciate that about you, your work ethic, your drive. Go right ahead. But in conjunction with you doing that, slow down. Just let some things process for a minute. Rome wasn't built in a day. So therefore, you have to bring yourself back. Listen to what you need. because it's telling you whether you listening or not. So actually slow down for a bit, put yourself in a rested state to where you're calm and you can think things through a lot better, a lot more smoother. So your decision making and the outcomes of your decisions is what you ultimately desire. And that's what really brings you into alignment. You being a yes man or a yes woman is putting you into an alignment of destruction, self internal destruction, because can't nobody just keep working for the rest of their lives and think that's living and think that's okay. So when you have the capabilities of resting, it's not just the fact of, oh, let me lay down and go to sleep, but it's more so of a fact of, let me recalibrate myself. Let me disconnect from the world to reconnect back to myself to see what I need, you know? Because, say, for instance, you go into a job, you go into your 9 to 5, you're fulfilling the ambitions and aspirations of whoever owns that company. So you helping them out to a capacity, right? So that's wonderful. It may not really be the ideology of your own, although you're advancing and you're going up the structure of, whatever hierarchy that they have in place. And that's good that you're getting the promotions, you're getting the rewards, you're getting the extra PTO and things of that nature. That's fantastic. But synonymous with that awesome work endeavor, you can apply that to you and what you like to do and you resting so you can get to being the best you of doing what you like to do as well. So make sure you build that relationship with yourself and keep that in mind with this upcoming week so that this is a smooth week for you. We still at the top of July. So let's allow July to be a month of you reaching an endeavor that you put off for a little bit. And if you put it off for a little bit, take that time to rest, to understand what that was, so that you can get back to it one micro habit at a time. I'm not going to tell you, hey, next week go ahead and complete that project that you've been putting off for 5 years. No, I just want you to get into the mind frame of you remembering what that project is, remembering how you can apply your best self to it, and resting in the midst of you planning that out so that you can work that into your day to day. Because we all are busy. We all have a lot of obligations going on and a lot of things that we got to tend to. But sometimes I feel like a lot of things that we are tending to don't always really involve us, it's for everybody else. So instead of it being for everybody else and you're hyper focused on the performance and the output of what you have the capabilities of doing, I want you to be able to apply that for rest so that you can get to being your best self and you applying your best self to what you're endeavoring in for the week. So that's just my little tidbit for today. I'm gonna do more of these so that we can interact more and have more conversations like we had earlier. So I can pull you in on to the live and you ask me a question and we have more dialogue because at the end of the day, we are a community. We are most definitely a community. So, okay, hold on. Before we get out of here, Poetic Cinema Studios, you got all the gems today. Okay. Most people work jobs. Very few people create wealth. Most people are secure with a check. Some of us prefer to be wealthy. We need to figure out what's more important in life at the end of the day. We need more discussions about wealth because wealth creates food, numbers, creates stress. Mm, okay. Okay, hold on. Let me plug up my phone because you was about to. Wait a minute. Get a little juice in here. So, with that wealth piece and that wealth aspect, I really like that you brought that up. And I'm just going to slide in a little tidbit before we slide off of here and y'all get back to y'all good and beautiful Sunday, okay? So, a lot of people like to attach the ideology of wealth to things of monetary value. And that's okay. You can do that. That is a part of the framework. But what I feel like really goes and complements that or more ties into that is what is the wealth or the tokens that you have been pouring into who you are as a person and not who people want you to be. Now, when you get to that frame and that structure of nurturing your own internal ecosystem, I feel like that is wealth. And everything that is attracted to what you already embodying within yourself is going to flow so much smoother because you begin to be in that divine synchronicity of the true definition of wealth. So, yeah, you have the car, you have the house, you have all these tangible things, and that's fun and fantastic. But on the flip side, you don't eat the best, you don't work out, you sedentary, you doom scroll, um, you doing all these things that is the complete opposite. So, you have to make these constant deposits of wealth, of good nutrition, good fitness. How are you talking to yourself? Are you beating yourself up because you didn't complete that task from yesterday and you're like, dang, you know what? Man, what's wrong with you? Why you ain't even do that? You should have did better. That's not wealth. What restructuring of wealth, if you did miss that deadline or that task yesterday, you could be like, you know what? I didn't complete that task, but I can definitely get back to it the next day or whenever I'm able to apply my best self to it generously so that the task can be accomplished to its fullest potential. That's wealth, in my opinion, anyway. Somebody might want to argue that ideology, but all of that, when you start to think and start to move and start to eat like a wealthy person, then you're going to start to attract that abundance and that wealth for yourself. So that is that total well-rounded wealthiness. Instead of you out here operating on somebody else's function and somebody else's time, and you're just working endlessly with no ambition for anything else, or you're not elevating from the work that you are displaying. You just in this endless cycle of completing tasks. And I know a lot of people, they may get into that framework and it may have been passed down generationally. I understand. So it's not your fault about what you were exposed to, but it is your due diligence in order for you to change the narrative of what has been happening for such a long time. So if you know that you are in possession of all the tools, all knowledge, and things of that nature for you to be your best self, then utilize them. Knock the dust off of them if they've been sitting in the corner for a while, and work with what you have. You know, work with what you have. And quite naturally, as soon as you work with what you have, and you believe in yourself enough that you can carry this out and it's actually going to be something that everything that you need is going to fall into place. It may sound like this far-fetched ideology, like what is Keita talking about? But truth be told, if you believe in yourself enough and you put more of that good earnest intention in knowing that you have the capabilities of carrying out whatever that idea, that creativity, whatever genius that you're in possession of, and you utilize what you already have, whatever you feel like that is needed along the way will find you. You won't have to chase it, you know? So I do appreciate that food for thought because poetic cinema has been coming through. Oh, got some more. You got more. Lord have mercy. Okay, wait a minute. He got another one. Hold on, I didn't see this one. Wealth have nothing to do with material. It's building structure so you can have a kingdom. Kingdoms don't fall. If you have people that work for you, that's what we were in the motherland, and that's why it was wealthy numbers. Okay. It's not wealth eyes shining on material. It's an assumption of wealth and wealth of freedom. Yes, because that's ultimately what it is. Freedom. That's what you want to achieve. So that's why you're trying to obtain that wealth. It's just a vehicle of freedom. That's ultimately what you want. You want to be free in your decision making. You want to be free in your activities of daily living. You don't want to be imprisoned by this systematic job that's keeping you enslaved just so that you can pay the bills, so that you can make ends meet. That's, I kind of feel like that may not be the most proper exertion of a good or high functioning work ethic. It's more so about you having the capabilities of applying your best self to something that you're really compassionate in And if you have the framework of not overworking yourself and have the capabilities of delegating what you're good at to other people who's good at it too, then you build that community, you build that trust, and then that is the grand collective as we elevate as a community. So I appreciate that thought. I definitely do. So, with that being said, rest as much, my beautiful people, beautiful souls, with good intentions. You deserve all the best. You deserve all the wishes of your heart. You deserve everything that your heart desires. So don't feel like you have to overwork yourself in exhaustion for you to be a recipient of things that you desire. It takes balance. You want to get there into a balanced state, not into an overworked state, so that you can appreciate the fruits of your labor. Because, truth be told, at this moment in time, I've been making the best smoothies out of the fruits of my labor. I can't even lie. It's been so delicious because I have been able to recalibrate my focus in knowing that rest is a part of the work. Yes, I do work. I definitely do. But yes, I do rest as well. So I hope the exact same for you. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday and allow for this momentum to build even more into a wonderful work week ahead, or whatever you have endeavored in for the week. You got a vacation coming up, or whatsoever may be the case. I just want you to apply your best self to whatever you're going to endeavor in for the week. And be sure to take care of yourself because it's only one you, and nobody needs you like you need you. Take care. You take care of yourself, Renee. All right? Have a lovely week, my dear. Peace.